Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about Stinger. Now, Stinger is a very solid character for an SR, and he does do quite a bit of damage as a composure reduction character. So what does this mean? He is a composure reduction, I already said that, he is a breaker character, right? He has, and how you can tell this is by his final arms. So right at the top, that is his main arms, his best arms, and this tells you what kind of character he is. So he is specializing in composure reduction. So first of all, his arms card is he applies might to all allies for 90 seconds, granting 40% of the Stinger's composure reduction stats. This effect increases 100% for morale type characters, so it is good for mono teams. I have this completely maxed out at level 6. You do get 2 charges of this, and it is pretty solid. It is my best card, I think, so it gives him the most PL, and it also just is the best in general because it is his final card. So I have this guy on merit 11, and I do have him on potential 3 right here, so he's not quite maxed out, but he is max level. So he's alright in terms of a build, but I really do like this character and I would love to build on him. But this Genos takes advantage for me because he is very solid as well, and I do have much more of a potential on him, and that's not even my fault for building, but that is just what came with the draws, right? So getting onto his skill list right here, we have his core mechanism, which is his roundhouse points. And what do these do? Once they're maxed out, you basically enter a confidence burst state that significantly increases your damage and changes all of your abilities to just different abilities in general, and they will do much more damage than the ones he currently has. So for his melee attack here, he has confidence points. He gets confidence points when he's using his M1, but when you use your select and hold, he will do a charge attack that will deliver a flurry of blows to the enemy and consume your stamina. Now, for these ones, you will get roundhouse points, which I think are the points in the middle of the meter. Basically, what these do is they kind of, I think, let's see what they do. So basically, roundhouse points after a single charge consumes massive stamina. Pursuits can be performed. So I think, yeah, they do. I think what they do is they turn the normal attack into 5 roundhouse stabs, consuming 50 roundhouse points. So the more you attack with your M1, the more damage you'll do, but it'll consume the roundhouse points. So basically, once you use your charge, you can get your roundhouse points up, and then once you use your M1, they're going to go back down because you're consuming them to do more damage. So now we have his M1, or so ability 1, sorry, which is repeating steps. It is activated by clicking Q on your keyboard, and he has an accurate dodge. What does this mean? He does a backwards dodge, and he can accurately dodge here, which will give him a buff or benefit if he dodges an enemy's attack within a certain window of time. Now, this is also tied with his potential, so I will talk to you guys about that later. Now we have Spinal Thrust, right? He has confidence, he gains confidence when he continuously hits the target. So you just click E, he does a flurry of attacks, and it does increase his confidence. So now we have his R, which is All Eyes on Me. This is his ability converter. Basically, it changes his, sorry, not ability converter, it changes his mode, right? And what this means is he basically transforms into confidence burst mode via an attack, and this attack is pretty decent. It does 220% of your total base stat attack, and it goes into confidence burst mode right after you're done the attack. So now, confidence burst mode. Confidence burst mode, basically his M1 is a wide area attack, so he does 750% of attack with a 5-hit combo, right, as you can see on this screen here. So if we go back to normal state, that does 750% of your normal attack stat. This does 510. So that is a huge difference in terms of attack for this character right here. So you can clearly see the confidence burst mode is the one you want to be in. And it is slightly restricted to a time limit right here, as you can see. Once the meter depletes, you will exit out of confidence mode and you will go back into your normal state. His Q here is also an evasion attack. Basically, it's kind of like a dodge, but also an attack at the same time, which is very, very useful. So basically, you pierce right through the enemy, you teleport right behind them, kind of, and you deal 330% of your attack, total attack stat. Your character may move to the back of the enemy. What this means is he'll go right through the enemy and he'll attack them, right? Just stab right through them. This is really good to be used when an enemy is about to attack you and you see that he's winding up for an attack. You can just go right through him and then the enemy will swing and just hit air because you'll be right behind them already. So now for E, roundhouse stance, he basically just spins around in a circle doing a bunch of attacks for 960% of your base stat attack. And you can move during this time, so he can basically just spin around like the Valkyrie from Clash Royale and do a ton of damage. And this will be your main attacking ability when it comes to these. Now, mind you, take a look at these times to regenerate. 6 seconds, right? So if this is taking, like, for example, a short amount of time, like 3 seconds or so, 4 seconds, right? That means this move takes 2 seconds. That's like 6 seconds, right? So this is already charged after you're done using these two moves. And then once you use this one's ready. So you can basically just chain these two abilities right here. So you won't really need your normal attack too much. Just in between, you might do like a couple of normal attacks, but rarely you'll do your 5-hit combo because you'll be relying on the damage output of your Q ability and your E ability. Now for Grand Finale, you will consume all your remaining confidence points to launch an all-out strike against the target, and then you exit the confidence burst state. So right after you use this attack, you will just run out of confidence burst and you'll go back to your normal burst. So this is very comparable to like Saitama's like final punch for Saitama Dream World, and it does damage that is equal of 1200% of attack, which is a huge amount. And this is basically just supposed to be used right when your mode is going to exit, right before then you click R on your keyboard and you'll perform a huge attack that will deal a lot of damage. For his ultimate skills, he has a pursuit skill, pretty basic. It is a lunge, a melee lunge, and you have his ultimate, which is also a melee lunge, just like his pursuit skill. Now, heading on to potential, we have your first one, which gives the duration of confidence burst state a buff of 50% more time, and it grants a 15% damage bonus. So for potential 2, you get a 40% of composure reduction stat. It goes into your base stat attack. Now, I keep telling you guys this, but you need potential in your characters in order for them to be good. It's kind of difficult for them to succeed as a character if their potential is 0, so you don't want to run this guy if he has a potential of 0. You just want to avoid him, right? But again, most people of you guys don't, because an SR is very easy to collect and you might have multiple copies of Stinger. So for the most necessary potentials, you definitely need potential 1 and potential 2. These are very, very, very helpful, and these other ones are kind of extra, but they're also very, very good too. So for example, potential 3, when your Q repeating steps triggers an accurate dodge, your stamina will be fully restored. So if you hit an accurate dodge with this guy, like I said earlier, there's something that will happen, a buff, and that buff is accurate dodge. You get an accurate dodge, and then basically you get all your stamina points back that have been consumed from charging. So theoretically, how you want to use that ability is you're fighting like a subterranean monster, for example. You use your charge move, he comes in with a right hook, you accurate dodge, you get all the stamina that you just lost from charging back instead of using a dodge and just taking up all your stamina. Then you can attack a second time and do a ton of damage, right? So now for potential 4, raid break level limit 2. So you get 2 more levels to your raid break affix, like the max amount, and it's very solid. It's very good. Again, if you're maxing out your character, this is a good potential to get. So now for potential 5, you have if confidence is lower than 25% in confidence burst state, our grand finale deals 80% more damage. So basically, if you're nearing the end, you do 80% more damage. This is basically just an incentive to how to play Stinger. Basically, you want to use your grand finale right before your ult ends, and this is basically just putting it on. 80% more damage isn't that much. like when it comes to just one attack, because you're really only going to be using this attack maybe like once or twice per battle. So it's not all that solid. Now potential 6, I don't really know what this means, but it says when you're holding normal attack to charge, consuming more than 100 stamina triggers pursuit. Now you can see right here it says pursuit skill. When your enemy's composure is cleared, check the chase button to pursue enemies who are already broken composure. So I think what this does is if they're in broken composure, you can just use this the charge move, and then it'll break their composure for them. That's what I think it means. But I don't really know because I don't have that potential. So anyways, that is for the overview. Now we're going to head on to memories and wills. So for memories and wills, we have an alright build here. Basically, I have Penetrating Eye, Mind Reader, 3 Raid Break, and Mighty Spear. So these are all very, very solid. What Mighty Spear does is it basically, once it's maxed out, you get 30% more stamina, and your normal attack, your charge attack, gains a 30% damage bonus for 10 seconds after 10 or more consecutive hits. So it is a pretty good ability to have, and like all characters, you definitely want their personal affix. Penetrating Eye, it is 45% more, and crit damage is 45% crit damage more, and it is alright. My character build is not all that good, but it's only because I'm getting leftovers from Genos, because Genos is much better, much more brought up because of the fact that he is at a higher potential level than my Stinger, so he takes priority over my Stinger. Now you don't really have to worry about my Saitama hogging any of this, because he is a resolute attack, so he's not, so we're not really missing out on too much there. But yeah, his attack stats pretty high for his PL. He does have a kind of high-ish composure reduction stat. It's alright, it could be better. And then his defense is actually kind of up there, which is pretty impressive for me, because this guy always gets knocked over in combat. Every single time he has no shield on him, he just kind of just falls backwards on his ass, and then it just ruins your combo. So it does take a lot of skill to dodge those hits. Now diving back into Impression Arms, for his other one, his R ability, it is his attack, and his other one is a heal. This is actually pretty good for sustainability, and his R can also help with damage. But of course, I'd say avoid his R ability. You mainly just want your healing and your bamboo shoot, right? Obviously this one's better for composure reduction, but if you really need to stay alive, for example, like you keep dying in the commission and you have Stinger on your team, then you can always use this. Some further comments I'd like to make before showing off the combos is that Stinger gets knocked down very, very easily. This guy takes damage and he just gets knocked down his ass every single time he gets hit. You cannot tank anything. And I kind of find that to be a little bad, but also very skilled, because if you want to get good damage on him, you have to dodge a lot of attacks. One more thing I'd like to go over as well is that Stinger is good on AI. Now you would think he isn't that good because he's a skilled character, just like I said, but in fact he is a very, very solid character on AI. Basically, any enemies with charged attacks are good on AI as of recent. For example, we have Spring Mustachio here. He has his whole arsenal is charged attacks, so his AI does really well with that, because instead of just walking around the map and doing random shit, because some of the AIs I see them walking backwards, just kind of spacing out with the enemy, doing nothing, he spends that time charging up his abilities. So they're constantly doing stuff, right? That's what I feel like they're doing. They're just constantly making themselves useful. So again, Stinger and Spring Mustachio are very good on AI, and they will not let you down. Alright, for practice, I'll be doing a normal attack rate hit. So for example, I'm hitting this Crablante, right? I can use this. He does get knocked back really easily, but for example here, I can use my accurate dodge and then charge up my stamina and just keep hitting him again. This is pretty useful, and it can help you a lot in terms of like you're out of stamina. Let's just say I'm really out of stamina here, right? I'm at red. if I dodge, I get all that stamina back. You just see that? I get all that stamina back. So it is very, very useful. One more thing, when you're using your charge, I'm not even moving. Like, I can move my charge around a lot, and it's good for mobility. Like, for example, oh, I need to get to the other side of the map. Well, I'll use this, right, to get to the boss. Or maybe he's using some weird attack. Charge up, I run away from that. It can be useful for that. But you do have your dodge for a reason. Your dodge gets you around the map really fast too. And it doesn't have a charge up as well. But the reason why this is so good, and you don't want to control it when you're attacking, is because it locks directly onto the enemy. I go like this, it goes right on back onto the enemy, okay? So you don't want to fiddle around with it too much. For example, if I'm trying to target the enemy here, I will just run around, have to loop around, and it wastes so much time and stamina, right? But for example, if I'm not even touching my keyboard right now. Stinger is constantly on him. He got stuck in the invisible wall there, but he's constantly on him. Alright, now for combo number 1, or for like playstyle number 1. It is the charge playstyle, right? You just want to charge, and then right after you're done charging, you can use your Q if he attacks to regain all your stamina back, and charge again. And then you use your E, obviously, and then charge up, and then repeat the same process until you get your confidence burst state. So for the second one, the second combo or playstyle, basically you're going to use your M1 and you're going to focus on dodging, and you're going to kind of forget about your Q ability. So you're just going to keep attacking, and this will actually charge up your confidence burst meter and not your other meter, right? And so whilst you're doing that, you can charge up this mode as fast as you can, right? And once you're in this mode, it does do a lot of damage, as you can see. It does a ton, and your abilities recharge really quickly. So your Q is basically a dodge, and you can just keep comboing them. So Q, E, over and over and over again. So watch. For example, I can dodge an attack using my Q ability. If he attacks me here, I can just completely dodge it and go behind him. So this is good for like any type of boss almost, and it is very effective, and I really like this move because it is very, very fluid, right? So now once you're done your energy, you're gonna use this attack and it is gonna cancel out of your mode, but don't worry, it's already canceling anyways. So then again, third-ish combo is basically just attacking, kind of like comboing both of the combo styles together, and you know, basically just charging both meters. So that's what you want to do. So once that's charged up, then you don't want to use your green bar again. You don't want to use your charge attack anymore. So you just want to M1, and then once your green bar looks like it's running low, then you want to start your charge attack and then charge it right back up. One more thing to note, take a look at this knockback. He always gets knocked back. Watch, staggered. So like, that's the one bad thing with Stinger, is look at that. He just gets knocked really easy, and it's really frustrating to see, because when you're trying to like do a combo, of course you're gonna get hit sometime in the battle, right? But the problem with that is it completely messes up your flow. Right here, watch. If I just try to like dash into him, right? So if he's gonna attack me, like see, I'm charging up, it just completely stops me dead in my tracks, and that is definitely not good. Alright, so I just wanted to let you guys know that is one issue here. So that's why he has a skill cap, because of the fact that his charge move needs timing, and it needs to know appropriate boss know-how. So like, when the boss is gonna attack, if you're charging up at the right time or not, and using your accurate dodge with your Q, but mostly avoiding getting knocked by the enemy, because as we all know, as I've said before, Stinger definitely takes the most amount of knockback, and I don't know why, but he just seems very frail when it comes to that. Alright, now for the test for Stinger, I'm going to be fighting Pluton, and I'm going to be trying my best, full dishes, because this guy's under leveled. Even though he has a morale boost with Pluton, he will not be able to take him on in a fight, but I'll try anyways, because I've kind of know Pluton's his playstyle, so I can probably do quite a bit of damage to him. So I'm going to start off with the charge attack here, and I am kind of... oh crap, I messed it up there. I messed up the timing, as you can see. It takes some skill, but I was trying to accurate dodge there and start up my charge again. So if he's gonna attack, you just want to M1 because you don't want to get caught in just charging, right? Like he's standing still right now, so I'm just gonna charge. And then let's see if I run out of stamina. Does it break him? Oh wait, I don't even have P6. Never mind. So yeah, if you're fighting a stronger boss, I don't suggest using your charge move all too much, because the problem with this charge move is that it can make you very prone to getting hit. Okay, I'm gonna use this now. Okay. See, he just gets hit. Like really easy. I'm glad I have my Stinger SSR so I can actually like keep up with this showcase, because if I didn't, I'd be a goner. So as you can see, like he gets knocked really easily, and especially when there's like fire and stuff on the floor, and you just get hit by like the weirdest stuff. You need like super armor for this guy or whatever it's called. Like he just can't fend for himself, and I don't know why. But I'm currently clutching on like a really low amount of health right now, and I want to see if I can actually like kill this guy, because he might be killable, might be not killable. But I'm gonna try to clutch this up. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay, no. But as you can see, Stinger is very difficult. I'll try this again, but he just gets knocked by everything, and I don't know if this is a skill issue or not, but he's definitely different from the other characters in terms of like what's it called? In terms of like dodging, he does like really suffer from knockback and staggering, and it is very painful to watch because it does mess up your combos. Oops, I instantly activated that. Okay, now he's vulnerable. Now I can use my charge without any repercussion. But again, if I'm in a risky mode like this, I'm just gonna M1. And I've taken no damage so far, so it's looking pretty good for me. Okay, I jinxed that. I just took 4,000 damage. Stinger wasted. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna use my confidence burst mode. Dodge him. He's gonna attack again, so I dodged him with my Q. So I like how he's a second dodge ability to kind of cancel out being like really weak and staggered and stuff. But the problem with this is that his Q for his normal mode is really shit. Like it's not good. See, I just got knocked back from the fire. Like most characters, like for example Zombie Man, don't get knocked back from the fire here. So I'm gonna try to composure break him before he tornadoes. It worked, nice. I missed my whatever it's called, but I am doing quite a bit of damage to him right now, and I do get that ×6 right here. Oh, he's gonna use his pull down. I'm gonna ult him actually. Nice. So I did clear this in 1:45 or whatever, so that is pretty solid for a Pluton commission, especially. And dude, he is not a well-built character, and he's squaring up with Genos pretty well. He's only 2% of damage behind, but he actually did pretty well. Maybe it's because I played on him, but he did outphase my 17k PL Genos, and mind you, his build's not that good. He does do 40% more damage when it comes to his advantage against Pluton, but Genos is at 8k attack right now. He's at 5. And he still has, even with those buffs, he only has a 12k PL rating, right? So I think the best one to compare it to is Genos right here, because he has a buff as well, the same 40% damage buff that he has. And if you take a look at the damage, it's only 2% off, and he's 2000 PL below Genos. So I'd say that's a pretty good win. This just proves Stinger is a very solid character with skill. Like, I only got hit like a total of maybe like 3 times there, but he's definitely very solid if you have the skill for him, right? So that's just a challenge to you guys. Are you guys good enough to play Stinger and actually play him well, or will you just get comboed and lose the fight and not even have a chance at winning? So I think this is like a kind of a high risk, high reward kind of character, and I think that's very good when it comes to damage trials and stuff, because if you guys have a build on him, he'll be really beneficial to you guys. If you're just doing a time trial and the boss is just doing a weak amount of damage and it's only his bulk, right? And then Stinger is the guy for you. If you're a really skilled character in terms of dodging, Stinger is a character for you. He is a very fun character to play. He has 2 modes. His character really never gets old. I play him in Maelstrom. He's great. So for ratings on attack, I would also give him Zombie Man. I'd give him an 8 out of 10. He has consistency, and if you play him right, he can be into confidence burst mode pretty often. For survivability, I'm gonna give him a 3 out of 10. All right, like he can survive, but I feel like 1 is the worst character in the game in terms of survivability, because he gets knocked really easily, so he can get comboed out of his mind, and he does take quite a bit of damage. I don't know why. My defense stat was pretty high, but he does take quite a bit of damage. So yeah, he does have that, and in terms of skill, I'd say advanced in terms of his skill level, but most people can play him. So for like for an entry level, I'd probably give him like an intermediate, just starting to play him, but his skill cap level is probably advanced. He's a very experienced player's character, and I've been trying to master this guy for like the longest time now, but I can't quite get a grip. So I'll let you guys know once I do master Stinger, and maybe I'll make a new video on that one. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. See you guys in the next one.